My dear friends, let's take some tzedakah, put it into the pushka, and together with our prayers for the imminent redemption, and this will solve all problems. Bring back our hostages, bring back our dead, and all of us celebrating together with Moshiach in the Beis HaMikdash. So please Hashem, do that today. There's this famous line, an astonishing one, that the prophet Eliyahy, Elijah the prophet, calls to the people when they were worshipping idols. And he says the following: Vayomer, and Elijah said, Ad mosai atem poischim al shtei seifim. How long will you waver between two opinions? In simple language, how long will you dance on two weddings? How long will you be on two sides of the fence? Im Hashem ha'elokim, if God is God, lechu acharav, follow him. Vim habal, and if Baal, an idol, you consider God, lechu acharav, follow him. And then the pasuk says, v'lo onuhu amoiseh dover, and the people did not respond. What's the story? So actually this is the Haftorah reading of this last Shabbat, which is connected to the story of the sin of the golden calf. Infamous, I should say, King Achav, the eighth of the Jewish kings, married to Izebel, both of them wicked, one more than the other. They introduced to the Jewish people idol worshipping of different kinds. And they were ruthless, particularly Izebel. She killed hundreds of the Jewish prophets and enforced and encouraged and enticed everyone to follow idol worshipping. At one point, Eliyahu meets with Achav and calls him to a challenge. And he says the following: I want you and your priests and idol worshippers come to Mount Carmel, and we are going to have a challenge once and for all, and we will prove to the world who is right. Is it you or is it me? And he says, Shlach, kvoitzelei kol Yisrael, call the entire Jewish community to the Mount of Carmel. Ves Neviah Baal, the prophets of Baal, 450. And the Neviah HaAsherah, another kind of idol worshipping, 400. All of them they called Oichle Shulchan Izebel, those who eat at Izebel's table. In other words, her underlings. And what does he say? They all come. And now at Mount Carmel he says like this: I challenge you. Let's all bring offerings. Put it on the wood. Don't put any fire. And I will put mine also on the wood. And also I will not put fire. Call out to your God. They should send God down the fire flame to consume these offerings. And then I will. And then we'll see which God is sending down the fire. Eliyahu is generous. He says, you go first. The majority, go first. From day to night they're standing there and doing all their shtick and nothing happening. And then Eliyahu teases them and says, maybe your God is asleep, scream a little louder. And they start screaming and jumping and killing each other. They're spearing each other with blood, which is interesting how the performance of idol worshipping is all about. But nothing is happening. And then finally, Eliyahu takes 12 stones representing the 12 tribes, and he makes an altar, and he puts wood, and he puts the offering, and he says, flood the place with water. Nobody should think that I pulled a fast one. Praise to God, and the fire comes down and consumes. Everybody was proven that Eliyahy is right and he followed God. But here's the question. When he introduces this, he says, how? Why do you dance on two sides of the fence? If you believe in Baal, follow. How could it be that Eliyahu Hanavi should even suggest, you believe in Baal, go for it? How can he even suggest the option of choosing idol worshipping? So the Rebbe explains as following. A person commits a sin because he thinks erroneously that although he commits a sin, he's still connected to God. Because no Jew wants to disconnect from God. But he makes the error in thinking, I commit a sin and I'm still connected. But when pushed against the wall, and he said, it's either this or this, you cannot have it both ways, then there's no question that every single Jew chooses God.